My mom is a huge fan of short-form mini-dramas. She's deeply convinced that a dominant CEO will fall in love with her, a 48-year-old divorced, menopausal woman working as a maid in the last life. When the CEO was drugged and she wanted to be the antidote, I desperately tried to stop her, even kneeling and kowtowing until she gave up on that insane idea. But who would have thought that after a 50-year-old woman detoxified him, the CEO would actually marry her? Enraged, my mom sold me to a criminal syndicate in northern Myanmar. No matter how much I begged, she refused to call the police or save me. If you hadn't stopped me, he would have married me. You ruined my chance at true love and a happy old age. How could I let you have a good life? In northern Myanmar, I attempted to escape again and again, barely scraping by in despair, until I was finally killed for my organs and buried alive. When I opened my eyes again, I was reborn on the very day the CEO was drugged. I smiled and said, "Go for it, Mom. Chase your true love in a happy old age. Your daughter won't stand in your way." Hello everyone, and welcome to Reborn Time. Now, let's begin this story, shall we? I just saw the young master go back to his room. Someone drugged him, and he's hiding in there, suffering. I need to get to him before whoever did this. Once I'm his antidote, he'll fall in love with me for sure. I'll be the lady of this house. Listening to my mother's excited voice, the pain and suffocation faded away. My blurred vision sharpened, focusing on her slightly greasy face. This wasn't northern Myanmar. I wasn't in that hellish place. My organs were still inside me. I had been reborn to the very day CEO Zong Ruichuan was drugged. The day my mother wanted to be his antidote, in the last life. I knew how deep the waters of wealthy families ran. It wasn't a place for ordinary people like us. I knelt and begged my mother not to go. But no one expected that after a single night with a 50-year-old woman, the CEO would marry her. Furious, my mother sold me to northern Myanmar. I endured a decade of torment there before dying a horrific death. Now, seeing my mother again, all I felt was hatred, along with a burning desire for money and power. My time in northern Myanmar taught me one brutal truth. In this world, family and love are utterly unreliable. The only person you can depend on is yourself. In this life, I will give her what she wants. She can chase her wealthy family dream and bear the consequences herself. I will use her as my stepping stone to get everything I desire. My mother looked at me suspiciously. What's with that look? You're not going to try and stop me, are you? I smiled. Go for it, Mom. Chase your true love in a happy old age. Your daughter won't stand in your way. Tears welled up in her eyes. You're such a good daughter. I watched her enter Zong Ruichuan's room, then timed it and ran down to the banquet hall. I found Madame Zong and tearfully cried, "Madam, my mother is missing. I'm so worried about her." My crying drew the attention of the nearby guests. Madame Zong shot me a glare and muttered to the butler, "Having an old maid is such a hassle. What a nuisance if she dies here. Go help her look." I pretended not to see the butler wave me over. I kept asking the guests, "Has anyone seen my mother? She's a maid, a bit shorter than me, in her 40s. Everyone said no. A few kind souls accompanied me and the butler to search. We looked everywhere. Finally, we arrived outside Zong Ruichuan's room. The sounds coming from inside made everyone's expressions turn awkward. The butler went back to inform Madame Zong. She glared at me. "Maybe someone wandered into the wrong room. There's no way it's Ruichuan and your mother. My son wouldn't be with a maid. That's ridiculous," I said pitifully. "But we've searched everywhere. Did my mother go out? How should I know?" "Go look outside. She just wanted to get rid of me." I did as she said. As soon as I was outside, I called the police. The guests hadn't left. They were all waiting to see what would happen. Perfect timing. The police arrived. They didn't even need to search the room. They just checked the security cameras. The guests all pretended to be concerned and followed, watching the footage of Zong Ruichuan stumbling into his room, then my mother knocking on the door with a bowl of hangover soup, only to be roughly pulled inside. Everyone's expressions were priceless. Madame Zong looked like she had swallowed a fly and couldn't spit it out. She glared at me. I held back my laughter, pinched my thigh, and sobbed. "My mother, madam, you have to get justice for my mother." Madame Zong clenched her fists. If not for all the people and the police, she would have slapped me right there. My mother wanted to be a CEO's wife. She clung to the Zong family, refusing to leave no matter what. Whenever there were layoffs, she would kneel before Madame Zong, saying she was a divorced single mother with no home, begging the Zongs to take her in. Madame Zong actually believed we had nowhere to go. She ordered us around, sometimes even hit us, and always gave us the dirtiest, hardest jobs, I couldn't stand it. I begged my mother to quit and leave, even if we had to live in a shack and I worked while studying. It would be better than being humiliated every day, she would say. What do you know, the more a woman suffers, the more easily a CEO can fall for her, like Cinderella and the prince. This is my first step to true love, just endure it, and happiness will come, sounded nice. But why did she make me do all the dirty work, and why did she use me as a shield when she got hit in the last life? The woman who detoxified Zhong Ruichuan was Madame Zhong's best friend, Su Moulin. She was a wealthy widow, and Madame Zhong couldn't really deny her, but Madame Zhong could have easily crushed us, so I had to make a big scene to ensure my mother got her true love. The gossip from the guests wasn't enough. When no one was looking, I copied the security footage and anonymously sent it to entertainment reporters. Overnight, the scandal of CEO Zhong's drunken escapade with a maid blew up on social media. Everyone was waiting to see the Zhong family's disgrace. Mr. Zhong and Madame Zhong were already stressed enough. The next morning, my mother, covered in hickeys, knelt and begged them to let her stay. Zhong Ruichuan, having enjoyed the experience, also insisted on taking responsibility. Mr. and Madame Zhong were furious, but with the pressure of public opinion, they had no choice but to agree to the marriage. Madame Zhong demanded a simple ceremony, just the license, no wedding. Zhong Ruichuan only cared about continuing his relationship with my mother. He didn't care about a wedding either. My mother was disappointed, but she said, as long as I can be with Ruichuan, nothing else matters. I'll take good care of you and Dad from now on. Mr. Zhong covered his face. Don't call me Dad. Madame Zhong's face darkened. I'm not even 2 years older than you. I don't deserve to be called Mom. You can still call me Madam, my mother replied. Okay, Mom. Madame Zhong was speechless. My mother took my hand and Zhong Ruichuan's. Xiao Hui, Ruichuan is your father now. And these are your grandparents. Say hello. The entire Zhong family looked at me awkwardly. Good news. The family's only son had an heir. Bad news. It wasn't biological, and it was already 17 years old. My mother was an idiot. They could be forced to accept her, but they would never accept me. I pretended to be sensible. I think I'll just keep calling you by your original titles. I'm used to it. Madame Zhong snorted. The daughter is more sensible than the mother, but soon, I would act less sensible. I also want to transfer my household registration here. Madame Zhong slammed the table. It's embarrassing enough that Ruichuan married your mother. If you move in too, you'll completely ruin the Zhong family's reputation, I reasoned with her. Madam, you've accepted my mother. If you abandon me and send me back to my hometown, people will accuse you of looking down on the poor. What if I get depressed from missing my mother and commit suicide? The Zhong family would be labeled as keeping the child and killing the mother, a stain that would never wash off. But if you accept me and transfer me to the best aristocratic school, I will be grateful. Everyone will see the Zhong family's generosity, and at school, I'll tell all the other wealthy heirs how wonderful you and Mr. Zhong are. It will help the Zhong Corporation build better relationships in the future. Madame Zhong and Mr. Zhong exchanged a look and nodded in agreement. My mother looked at me with surprise. After Madame Zhong and Mr. Zhong left, she pulled me aside. When did you get so clever? I gave her a fake smile. If I weren't clever, you'd probably get rid of me. She waved her hand. Of course not. I was planning to get the license first, then put in a good word for you with Ruichuan. At worst, you could stay on as a maid at the Zhong residence. At least you'd be near me, and I could take care of you. I didn't expect you to be so sharp, getting them to accept you and even transferring your household registration. Good. Now study hard and be good to your mother. Without me, you wouldn't have this good life. Got it. I smiled with my lips, but my eyes were cold. Got it. I'll definitely be good to you. Getting a marriage license took minutes, but transferring household registration across provinces took a month. Only after that could I transfer schools. My mother and Zhong Ruichuan went back to their shameless fun. No one cared about me, so I grabbed my backpack and went to school. My teachers and classmates had all seen the news. They acted sympathetic to my face, but laughed behind my back. I stayed calm, listened attentively, and chased after teachers with questions. One teacher was sarcastic. Oh, you still study, you don't have the brains. Look at your scores. Studying is a waste. You should just follow your mother's example and sleep your way to the top. I put down my book and looked at her with the calm of someone who has seen storms and now watches a small shrimp dance. Teacher, are you jealous of my mother? She glared. What, me? Jealous of a woman like her? Of course. the only way for you to take a shortcut is to sleep with that bald principal, but my mother's man is tall, handsome, and rich, aren't you jealous? What nonsense are you talking? She raised her hand to hit me. I caught it and slapped her twice first, then grabbed her hair and pushed her head onto the desk. Do you think I don't know? Every time the principal drops you off, you get out at the intersection by the school. I've seen it many times. You came from a poor background and slept your way up. But you look down on kids from poor backgrounds. You let the rich kids bully us. When things get out of hand, you testify that we are the troublemakers and deserved it. Ask your conscience. Are we? Her testimony was a death sentence for those whose parents already didn't trust them. I got beaten because of her. Later, when I stopped my mother from being Zhong Ruichuan's antidote, costing her her chance to marry into wealth, she also believed I was just naturally bad, jealous of her, and ended up selling me to northern Myanmar. There was another girl who couldn't handle the bullying at school and home. She killed herself. I don't remember her name, but I remember the teacher and the bullies acting like good riddance. You have no right to be a teacher. She pushed me away hard. I pulled out a clump of her hair and blew it away. Seeing the ruthless look in my eyes, so unlike my age, she threatened, "Just you wait," and ran out. I knew she was going to the principal to complain, and she'd definitely call my parents. I avoided the school cameras, went to the roof, tied my phone to a bamboo pole, and extended it to the principal's office window. The footage was blurry but clearly showed the principal and the teacher being intimate. I went back to the teacher's office and uploaded the video to the school forum using her computer. My mother showed up in Zhong Ruichuan's sports car. At the same time, the principal's wife also arrived. They walked into the office one after the other. My mother thought she was another parent. "Kids these days are so troublesome," she said. The principal's wife replied, "And teachers these days are even more troublesome." My mother was confused. In the principal's office, my mother charged toward me. The principal's wife charged toward the teacher. Before my mother could hit me, the principal's wife was already yanking the teacher's hair and slapping her. The principal tried to explain it was a misunderstanding, but his wife wasn't listening. It was clear she had suspected something for a while but had no proof. My mother was stunned. Zhong Ruichuan, who had been looking at his phone, looked up and started recording the scene. I asked my mother, "Do you want a wedding?" She was confused. "If you do, hug me and cry." She didn't know what I was up to, but she was intimidated by my calm reaction. She obediently started crying. I played her the recording of the teacher mocking her. She cried louder. "Because of me, my daughter has been suffering at school. I don't want to live." Zhong Ruichuan rushed over. "Meiju, what's wrong?" She played him the recording. He got angry and smashed my phone. "How dare a teacher at a school like this insult Zhong Ruichuan's woman? Do they think I'm dead?" The principal was busy trying to stop his wife, his face scratched. Hearing Zhong Ruichuan, he immediately came over to apologize. I added fuel to the fire. "It's not just them, my classmates, their parents, everyone who knows about this is laughing at you, young master, for not taking responsibility." Zhong Ruichuan was furious. He even hit the principal. The teacher was beaten black and blue and disappeared from the capital overnight. To prove he was a responsible man, Zhong Ruichuan got me a Beijing household registration the next day, transferred me to an aristocratic school, and bought me the latest phone as compensation. I heard that when I left, many bullied students posted on the school confession wall, saying they liked me. I took it as their thanks. That night, Zhong Ruichuan held a lavish proposal ceremony on the top floor of the most luxurious hotel in Beijing. He gave my mother a black card and promised an even grander wedding. Mr. Zhong had only wanted to quietly post the marriage certificate on the company website, but Zhong Ruichuan, caught up in the moment, made a spectacle of himself, and the whole city laughed. Even the Zhong Corporation's foreign clients saw the live stream of him confessing to a 48-year-old woman and kissing her in a rain of petals. They called to congratulate Mr. Zhong. His blood pressure spiked, and he was hospitalized. Madame Zhong came back and yelled at my mother, "Ruichuan is young and naive, but you're old enough to know better. How could you let him do something so embarrassing? Where do you expect me and his father to show our faces?" My mother touched her large diamond ring, pretending to be shy. "How is it embarrassing? It's a happy occasion." I didn't expect Ruichuan to give me such a big surprise. I tried to refuse, but he wouldn't let me go. Madame Zhong gritted her teeth. "Stop pretending to be coy. How old are you?" My mother said. "Ruichuan says that no matter my age, in his eyes, I'm always an 18-year-old girl." This time, even I had to run to the bathroom to throw up regardless. my goal was achieved. My mother continued her shameless life with Zhong Ruichuan. I started at the noble school a month early. Unlike my previous school, the aristocratic school students were quite decent. Most of them didn't bother with fights and bullying. They wouldn't dare, because it could affect their family's reputation. Family interests came above all else. The few without such awareness didn't have much influence and couldn't afford to bully anyone anyway. When I arrived, before they could try anything, I became the spoiled darling of the very group they couldn't afford to offend. My childhood had been completely different from theirs, so they liked having me around. Xiao Hui, you mean you never had to take piano lessons as a kid, practice until your fingers cramped, you don't have to learn 8 languages, or spend your free time on horseback riding, golf, and flower arranging. You never had to take classes on proper posture, or go to boring adult dinners every week and listen to business secrets. I shook my head. No, they sighed with envy. You're so lucky. Their envy seemed genuine. But I knew this was the gap between us back home. I used the black card Zhong Ruichuan gave my mother to pay for tutors. I took everything, basic courses, 8 languages, art, piano, writing, golf, any skill that could improve myself or help me. Network. My mother found out and pointed her newly manicured finger at me. Why are you spending so much of my money on useless things? Do you think you're like me, that some CEO will fall for you and you'll marry into wealth? That kind of dream isn't for everyone, I say. Stop studying and just be a maid at home. Later, I'll find you a driver's son or a butler's son. You'll have a stable life after marriage. What a good mother, selfish and misogynistic. Oh, and she didn't have a son, she just looked down on me. In my last life, I would have been heartbroken and tried everything to win her approval. Now, I just wanted to get money from her. I patiently lied to her. Mom, I'm doing all this for you. You're afraid of getting tan, so you won't do outdoor activities, and you find piano and foreign languages too hard. But all the rich kids at my school learn these things, and their parents know them too. What will happen when the young master takes you out and you have to socialize with those aristocratic ladies? If I learn, you can take me with you. When the time comes, I'll handle it. If I embarrass myself, it's on me. If I succeed, you get the credit. It makes the Zhong family look like they value their daughter, and you look good. 2 birds with 1 stone. She thought about it. That makes sense. Study hard, then, don't waste my money. She continued her life of luxury, partying every night with Zhong Ruichuan. I studied day and night, posture in the morning, speaking practice with classmates in my free time, test prep late into the night, piano and horseback riding on weekends, no days off. A month later, there was a business reception. Zhong Ruichuan was invited, and my mother wanted to go. Otherwise, her jewelry and designer dresses would go to waste. Madame Zhong had banned her from attending any public events with Zhong Ruichuan, even the company. To prevent embarrassment, my mother showed him the invitation. Ruichuan, it says accompanied by spouse. Take me. I want to see the world. Zhong Ruichuan didn't want to. This is a formal reception. There will be important people I can't afford to offend. What would I do with you there? You can't even understand their conversations. If you cause a scene, my mother will blame me again. My mother called me over. I may not understand, but my daughter does. She can translate for me. I won't make any mistakes. Zhong Ruichuan laughed scornfully. Take her. Don't be ridiculous. Accompanied by spouse means wife, not daughter. She can barely do high school English. You think she can translate? You think this is a class reunion? My mother's face fell. She squeezed my shoulder and whispered, you said learning this stuff would make me look good. If I can't even go out, you don't need to learn anymore. Studying was my foundation for climbing up. I couldn't afford to stop. I called one of my classmates in front of Zhong Ruichuan and spoke fluent English. He was stunned. I could tell from his blank expression that there were at least 2 words he didn't understand. So much for the elite returned scholar persona. I hung up and smiled. Young master, my classmate is the youngest son of President Ji. He'll be at the reception with his father. I've heard that President Ji has a major project he's looking for partners for, and many companies are vying for a piece. If you take me, you can use my connection to get to President Ji first. Zhong Ruichuan scoffed. I need your connections, Mr. Zhong happened to be passing by. He pointed at me. She's right, that's a good project. Are you sure you can talk to President Ji? I nodded. Yes, Mr. Zhong said. Then you're coming with me. My mother is coming too. Mr. Zhong turned and glared at me. What good would she do if the whole family attends an event like this but her? What will people think? He hesitated, then warned my mother. Fine, but keep quiet, show your face and come back. My mother beamed. Okay, I'll go change. She ran upstairs, forgetting that I had no dress. Mr. Zhong told Madame Zhong to arrange one for me. After I put it on, the posture training I'd been doing paid off. Madame Zhong looked me over and couldn't find any fault, but when she saw my mother's heavy makeup, tons of jewelry, and long dress with a train, her temples started throbbing. Change, this is a reception, not your wedding. Your daughter looks better than you. You've been married into this family for so long and still haven't learned how to dress. Take it off. My mother didn't like that. When she came back down, she deliberately asked me to help her, trying to trip me. I'd seen this trick too many times in northern Myanmar. I just lifted my foot higher and stepped right on her ankle. My mother screamed and fell down the stairs. Zhong Ruichuan rushed over. Meiju, are you okay? I acted concerned too. Mom, are you okay? Was the dress too long? Did you trip on the hem? She couldn't admit she tried to trip me, so she just nodded. Yes, the dress was too long, Madame Zhong said. Then change again. Zhong Ruichuan picked her up. There's no time, let's go like this. My mother forgot the pain and leaned into his arms shyly. Thank you, Ruichuan. You always stick up for me when I'm being treated unfairly. Zhong Ruichuan seemed to like that. I'm your husband. If I don't protect you, who will? Madame Zhong's lips trembled with rage. Sometimes I really want to call the police. I agreed with her. I didn't get in my mother's car. I rode with the Zhongs. The atmosphere was tense, but at least they were normal. No one hugged or anything at the reception. My classmate Ji Hyun spotted me. He wore a tailcoat and greeted me like a gentleman. I lifted my skirt in return. Xiao Hui, you look beautiful today. I smiled. You look handsome too. His face turned bright red. I was speechless, so innocent. President Ji followed him. You're my son's often mentioned hardworking transfer student. He says you're excellent, even better than the top students at the Noble School. I nodded slightly. Hello, Uncle Ji. I'm far from excellent. Everyone is excellent. I've just been lucky to get good grades a couple of times. President Ji nodded. High emotional intelligence, perfect for teaching my blunt son, and these are. I was about to introduce Mr. and Madame Zhong when Mr. Zhong smiled and said, we're Xiao Hui's grandparents, so now they claimed me as their own. President Ji shook hands with them. Chairman Zhong, Madame Zhong, nice to meet you. President Ji wanted to chat more, but Zhong Ruichuan pushed his father aside, pulled me away, and started talking to President Ji himself, awkwardly pushing the project. President Ji looked annoyed. I saw Madame Zhong go to greet Su Molan, but Su Molan wasn't looking at Madame Zhong. She was staring at Zhong Ruichuan, so in the last life, her being the antidote wasn't an accident. My wings weren't fully grown yet. I couldn't let my mother fall from favor so soon. I warned her, if you still want your true love, keep an eye on that woman. My mother got angry. What do you mean? In the drama, the male lead's love for the female lead is always passionate and exclusive. Ruichuan won't cheat on me. His heart belongs to me alone. I gave her a thumbs up. Fine. Pretend I said nothing. My mother pinched the soft skin on my inner arm. You brat, you made me fall down the stairs. I haven't settled that with you yet. Now you want me to get divorced. I grabbed her wrist. Mom, look around you. Do you want me to make a scene? I'm sure Madame Zhong would love to have an excuse to keep you home. She let go. I'll deal with you later. She looked at President Ji and asked me in a low voice, didn't you learn how to get close to big bosses? I said, just cater to his interests. So simple. She left me and hooked her arm through Zhong Ruichuan's. Hello, President Ji, I'm Ruichuan's wife. Where is your wife? Why didn't she come? Is it because you don't like her? President Ji's face turned black. Everyone in business knew President Ji was newly widowed. No one was tactless enough to mention it. Zhong Ruichuan awkwardly tried to pull my mother back. Sorry, President Ji, she just got back from abroad. My mother blinked her big eyes, which couldn't hide her crow's feet. Delighted that Zhong Ruichuan was trying to raise her status. Yes, I just got back. People abroad are very open. If you're unhappy with your wife, you should just get a divorce. Like my in-laws, theirs is just a marriage of convenience. If they're not happy, why stay together? Go find your own happiness. President Ji's face hardened. Excuse me. Zhong Ruichuan tried to chase after him. President Ji, my mother held him back. Ruichuan, President Ji is so shy. Why are you looking at me like that? Are you dislike me too? Zhong Ruichuan sighed. Not before, but a little now. I sighed too. I needed to work harder. It felt like I was running out of time. Ji Hyun said to me, don't worry, Xiao Hui. I'll convince my father to work with the Zongs. I shook my head. No, I don't want you to get involved. My connections were too precious to waste on something not worth it, and even if I used them, the Zongs wouldn't appreciate it. They'd just think they were just too good. My mother came back and accused me. You and your advice. Ruichuan says President Ji is angry. I rolled my eyes. I said cater to his interests, not yours. Just because she was obsessed with love didn't mean everyone was. For the rest of the reception, I stayed close to Mr. Zong, watching him talk to various business leaders. I quietly absorbed everything he said about market trends. He was annoyed at first, but he noticed I was quiet and clever. I would hand him a drink when he needed one and discreetly water it down when he'd had too much. Eventually, he accepted my presence and even introduced me as a promising young person President Ji himself admired. Just as I was getting engrossed in their conversation, my mother dragged me away. You were right, that woman is up to something. At first, I thought she was just introducing Ruichuan to some clients as a favor to Madame Zong. But look at her, what kind of elder is that clingy with a younger man? She pretended to be drunk and leaned into him. Now they're mumbling in a foreign language, and I can't understand a word. She wanted me to translate. We moved closer. Su Molin noticed and switched to French. She said, "Do you understand now what kind of person can help you?" I understood. Zong Ruichuan clearly did not. He just smiled and didn't answer. She switched to English. "I can get you the deal with President Ji's project. What will you give me in return?" Zong Ruichuan's gaze lingered on her. The shawl slipped off her shoulder, and his eyes followed. Su Molin was 50, but her years of cosmetic procedures and maintenance had kept her charm. My mother relied on her obsessive love and tricks to keep Zong Ruichuan interested, but it wouldn't last forever, between a sexy, successful woman who could help his career and a useless headache. The choice was clear. My mother gripped my arm. "What did they say?" I said. "They've been staring at each other for a while. Do I really need to translate?" Just as I was wondering how to highlight my mother's strengths, my mother charged forward and slapped Su Molin across the face. "Bitch, how dare you seduce my husband?" Su Molin was stunned for a moment, but then I saw a triumphant glint in her eyes. I had to admit, Su Molin was the better actress, not a single tear, just a brave smile and dignified silence that moved everyone to sympathy. Madame Zong rushed over and slapped my mother. "Are you crazy? How dare you hit my best friend?" Zong Ruichuan looked at Su Molin's red face and slapped my mother too. "How dare you hit my Aunt Lon?" My mother had been spoiled and thought she was untouchable. After 2 slaps, she was about to lose it. I whispered in her ear, "She's too good, you can't win, play dead." She gasped and collapsed. I helped find a doctor and got her out of there. Back at the Zong Manor, my mother kept up the act. I snuck into the security room to look for evidence. Madame Zong knew my mother was faking it. She stood by the bed, cursing. "What a shrew, I knew we shouldn't have let her out. Now we've offended President Ji and my best friend." Zong Ruichuan was also disgusted. "You can't act weak when you need to, but you can slap people. You almost slapped my head off. You've humiliated me." My mother was angry, but I had warned her on the way back. If she wanted to stay in the Zong family, she had to stay dead. She had no choice but to endure Mr. Zong humiliating ourselves at such a formal reception, and the hot search is all about us again. The Zong family loves drama. CEO Zong's Twilight Romance. The PR team doesn't know what to do. I don't know how to apologize to Ms. Su, and President Ji's project is ruined, thanks to her. She's a jinx. Nothing good has happened since she came. Madame Zong, let's say she has mental problems and send her to a mental hospital. After a while, she and Ruichuan can get divorced. I'll explain everything to Molin. Zong Ruichuan looked at my mother. He didn't seem too reluctant. Fine, and send her daughter too. I don't want to see either of them. My mother couldn't take it anymore. She sat up. "I'm not going to a mental hospital. I'm not sick." That Su Molin was seducing Ruichuan. Was I wrong to hit her? Madame Zong, shut up. She's my best friend, his godmother who watched him grow up. Do you think everyone is as shameless as you, trying to crawl into a younger man's bed at your age? And stop calling me mom. I'm calling now. You and your daughter are out of here tonight. 2 bodyguards rushed in. My mother's phone dinged. She saw it was from me. Her eyes widened. "Wait," she held up her phone. "You said I was lying. See for yourself. This is proof of her seducing Ruichuan." There were 2 videos. One showed Su Molin calling a maid, then secretly adding something to a drink while the maid wasn't looking. The second showed the same maid giving the drink to Zhong Ruichuan. He drank it and immediately looked unwell. Most wealthy families don't put cameras outside the kitchen, but Madame Zhong had one installed to prevent theft. Su Moulin hadn't expected it, which was why she got caught, Zhong Ruichuan muttered. So it was her. Madame Zhong was speechless. Mr. Zhong rubbed his temples. See, it's not just me you have to worry about. Who knew your best friend had her eye on our son, Madame? Zhong was frustrated. Is this something to be proud of, Mr. Zhong? I didn't know how to talk to her. Now we have the upper hand. She'll have to explain herself to us. Madame Zhong, we can't make it public. It will humiliate us as much as her. But we can use this video to stop her from making trouble and make her get you the deal with President Ji. Ruichuan, you are not to see her again. Zhong Ruichuan was still deep in thought. He didn't seem ashamed that Su Moulin had drugged him. In fact, he seemed secretly pleased. My mother called out to him. Ruichuan, did you hear me? He answered absently. Yes. Madame Zhong glanced at my mother. You still cause trouble. Starting today, you're not allowed to leave the house. My mother had barely avoided the mental hospital, so she just said, okay, Mom. When everyone went to bed, I was still tied up in the yard, guarded by 2 bodyguards. As usual, I was the only one who got hurt. I sighed. They've all gone to bed. There's no danger, can you untie me now? After that, Zhong Ruichuan lost interest in my mother. Madame Zhong was secretly glad her son had come to his senses. She started finding ways to torment my mother. My mother was back to doing maid's work, even harder than before. Breakfast, flowers, watering, cleaning the fish pond, yard work, massage, tea, foot baths. Exhausting, but still, Zhong Ruichuan didn't leave her alone at night. Late one night, she crawled back to the servants' quarters. Xiaohui, rub your mother's back. I was studying. I'm busy, Mom. Go rub your back against a tree, you ungrateful girl. You don't care about your mother. Tomorrow, you're doing my work. I'm calling someone to do my nails. That old hag treats me like a servant. My skin is getting rough. Ruichuan just touched me and said I was scratchy. I can't. Mom, I have an exam tomorrow. What exam? Even if you pass, you won't marry into a wealthy family. Don't waste time. Stay home and help me deal with that old hag. When she dies, the Zhong family will be mine. Don't you want a good life? A good life? Married to a driver's or a butler's son? I wasn't reborn to let her arrange a marriage for me. I wanted to become the wealthy family. I put down my pen and manipulated her. Mom, isn't this the happy old age you wanted? You should be the one suffering, not me. If I do your work, how will he see you're suffering? And I'm studying for you. When I get good grades, it'll be your success. Maybe Madame Zhong will respect you more. She nodded. Good point. Keep studying. There was a knock on the door. My mother pretended to be asleep. Whoever it was had a key. Meiju, there you are. The game isn't over. Why are you hiding here? I rolled my eyes, grabbed my test papers, and went into the bathroom, putting in earplugs. A month later, my mother's hard work finally pleased Madame Zhong. She was allowed to leave the house, but Madame Zhong stared at her stomach. Didn't you already have a daughter? Why haven't you gotten pregnant yet? My mother panicked. She immediately made an appointment with a traditional Chinese medicine doctor and made me come with her as cover. The doctor felt her pulse. You're menopausal. You still want a child. My mother, what? You can't help with that. You're supposed to be famous. You can cure terminal illnesses, but you can't fix menopause. The doctor was speechless, so my mother started drinking Chinese medicine. I would heat it up and bring it to her. After 2 weeks, before she got sick of it, Zhong Ruichuan did. Late at night, he was going out. My mother stopped him in her pajamas. Ruichuan, where are you going? You're the one drinking medicine, but you reek of it. It's disgusting. I need some fresh air. She grabbed his arm. Wait, let me change. I'll come with you. He pushed her away. I want you to stay away from me. My mother couldn't argue. Seeing him drive away, she cried and ran to Madame Zhong. Madame Zhong laughed. Great. My son is finally going to find another woman. My mother came back to me. What do I do? Without a child, he'll abandon me, and she's happy about it. You were so clever before. Help me. It was my last month before the college entrance exam, and my expensive aristocratic classes needed to be renewed. I'll help you. Pay for my classes for 3 more months, through the summer. Done. What's your plan? Give me your phone. I used the Find My iPhone feature to locate Zhong Ruichuan. I rode my bike out to a high-end club. I snuck in through the kitchen, pretending to be new staff. Then I found a server's uniform in a break room. After some searching, I found Zhong Ruichuan's private room. This was a skill I had learned in my last life, running away again and again. It wasn't enough to escape the human traffickers in northern Myanmar, but it was good enough for the club staff. Just as I suspected, he was meeting Sue Molan. A leopard can't change its spots. He was like a fly to shit. I took photos of their affair, blurred Sue Molan's face, and sent them anonymously to entertainment reporters from an internet cafe. I sent the unblurred photos to Madame Zong. I didn't tell my mother. She'd mess it up. If she confronted him, she'd give away our advantage. I just told her he was seeing someone else and had been caught by reporters. Soon, the scandal broke. She had her big dramatic meltdown. The affair affected the company's reputation. Mr. Zong yelled at him and confined him to the house. He was disgusted by his son's taste. He liked 18-year-olds. His son liked 80-year-olds. Madame Zong stopped trying to separate them. She even started praising my mother. In her eyes, her son was hopeless. If she had to choose between Sue Molan and my mother, she'd pick my mother. Under Madame Zong's pressure, Zong Ruichuan felt guilty and treated my mother better. He stopped complaining about the medicine smell. My mother came out ahead. She stopped believing in the boss's undying love and finally saw the words "this story is pure fiction" at the beginning of her dramas. She worked harder on her body and skin, learning new tricks to please him. After drinking her medicine, she'd rinse her mouth and use half a bottle of breath spray before going to bed. I renewed my classes. A month before the exam, I was busy. My mother called, saying she needed me. I rushed home. Madame Zong was smiling. Seeing a doctor out, my heart dropped. Something was wrong. But why was she smiling? Didn't she want them to divorce? Inside, my mother and Zong Ruichuan were hugging on the sofa. He was touching her belly, looking happy. She was pregnant. Madame Zong came in. "Xiao Hui, you're going to have a little brother, Meiju. Why would you hide good news like this?" My mother was smug. I wasn't sure. I didn't want to disappoint anyone if I was wrong. Luckily, my thoughtful mother-in-law called the doctor. "Madame Zong, the doctor said you're in poor health. Be careful and tell me what you want to eat." My mother: "Thank you, Mom." "Oh, Xiao Hui, why are you here on such a hot day?" I wiped my sweat. "Nothing. I forgot something. I'll go to my room." I went back to studying. I didn't notice the way Madame Zong and Zong Ruichuan were looking at me. Later, my mother came to me. "Xiao Hui, you're busy studying. Running back and forth in this heat is tiring. Maybe you should board at school." I hid my smile and pretended to be reluctant. "Okay, Mom, take care of yourself. I'll come back on weekends." "Don't bother, I'll be fine. Call if you need anything. Study hard, don't come back." We hugged, playing the part of a loving mother and daughter, but we were both just pretending. I had wanted to board at school for a long time, but my mother needed me to do her dirty work. Now that she was pregnant, I was just in the way. She gave me 1,000 yuan for pocket money. Too little. I hugged her and cried, "Mom, we've never been apart. I'll miss you. I'll call you every day after evening study." Zong Ruichuan couldn't stand it. He threw me 50,000 yuan. "You need to grow up and be independent. Don't bother us. Better yet, don't let us see you ever again." My mother said nothing. She just turned away, touching her belly. I stopped pretending. If the money was enough, this would be the last time I saw her. I got in the car. The aristocratic school dorms were quite nice. Because of the low occupancy, I could have my own room. After I moved in, my room became the rich second-generation secret hangout. They'd come to complain about their parents. I welcomed them. They brought me imported snacks and business secrets. I used the 50,000 to trade stocks. I used my memories from northern Myanmar and key information I got from my rich classmates to make sure I never lost. By the time the college entrance exam was over, I had nearly 500,000 yuan in capital. My classmates thought I was amazing. They gave me their allowance to invest for them. I charged a commission. It was a good business. They were always generous. I planned to rent an apartment for the summer, study college courses, keep trading stocks, and learn about the market. Then I could start my own company. But then my mother had another problem. She called while I was looking at apartments. "Xiao Hui, go to the Huanjue Hotel. I'll meet you there. Help me figure out how to get rid of Sue Molan." I couldn't be bothered. I looked around and asked casually, "I thought being pregnant made you the Zong family's treasure. How did she come back?" She cried about her age, her severe pregnancy symptoms, the spotting, and how Zong Ruichuan couldn't keep his hands off her despite doctors' warnings. "It's my fault. I'm too attractive. Get to the point," she continued. Madame Zong kicked him out and got me a special caretaker. I had a few good days. But since Ruichuan can't be with me, he's with Sue Molan again. "How do you know? Did you catch them?" "I'm on my way." Some random number texted me the room number and a photo of them at the hotel. I'm bringing bodyguards to catch them. I analyzed the situation. You shouldn't go, that number is suspicious. Where's Madame Zhong? Is she stopping you? What could be suspicious? The Zhong family is always on the news. A kind person probably warned me. Madame Zhong is at a business dinner. Even if she were here, she wouldn't be on my side. They've been friends forever, and he's her son. I'm at the hotel. Hurry up, I'm going in. If you don't come, I'll cut off your allowance. She hung up. I didn't need her money, I confirmed some details with the agent. I only want to rent it for 2 months. Can you lower the price? As the agent went to ask the landlord, my mother called again. I answered, but she didn't speak. I could hear Zhong Ruichuan and Su Molan having a good time. She must have pocket-dialed me. Zhong Ruichuan said, Aunt Lan, you take such good care of yourself, much better than Meiju. Since she got pregnant, she just eats and lies around. She's like a fat seal. She's disgusting. My mother screamed. Zhong Ruichuan, I'm carrying your child. How can you say that? Then it got chaotic. Zhong Ruichuan yelled, Song Meiju, what are you doing here? Su Molan, Song Meiju, let go, you're just a maid. How dare you hit me? My mother, I'm hitting you, you old fox, seduced my man. Oh, my stomach. Ruichuan, Zhong Ruichuan, Aunt Lan, you're losing so much hair. Song Meiju, this is your fault. If Aunt Lan goes bald, I'll shave your head. Aunt Lan, I'm taking you to the hospital. My mother, Ruichuan, my stomach hurts. Take me to the hospital first, or we'll lose the baby. Zhong Ruichuan, stop pretending. Aunt Lan didn't touch you. You sat on the floor yourself. How could you hurt the baby? I'm taking Aunt Lan to the hospital. I'll deal with you when I get back. Get out. Leave her here to think about what she's done. I hung up. I called an ambulance and the police. The agent returned. The landlord said he'd only charge half the rent if you agree to share. There were 2 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. Sharing was fine. I agreed. As I was packing, my mother called again. Where are you? I'm in the hospital. I need surgery. Come sign the papers. I'm not 18 yet. My signature means nothing. Ask Madame Zhong. She screamed. They're all at the hospital with Su Molan. I said I'm having a miscarriage, but no one listens. They're all bastards, and you don't care about me either, you ungrateful wretch. I raised you for nothing. I reminded her. When I left the Zhong house, you said you never wanted to see me again. I was just listening to you. Now you're upset. She couldn't answer. A doctor came on the phone. We'll have to let her sign for herself. You should get here. Her condition is serious. I went to say goodbye. She was still in surgery. A nurse ran out. Your mother has a rare blood type, and our blood bank doesn't have it. What's your blood type? B. I take after my father. I couldn't help. They broadcast a request for donors. As I watched the doctors and nurses rush around, I thought of my last life in northern Myanmar. I refused to trick people, and the boss was going to cut off my hand. I called my mother and begged her to save me. She had said coldly, I'm not her mother, don't bother me. Even if you kill her, you won't get a penny from me. But I'll tell you, she has a rare blood type. You could sell her blood for a good price. That day, they held me down and drained my blood. I could feel my heart about to stop. Luckily, the boss wanted my blood and organs, so he didn't let me die. That day, I knew exactly what kind of person she was. In this life, why would I give her my blood? I was already being generous not selling hers. The surgery took 4 hours. They saved her life. Madame Zhong arrived, laughed at me, and went to talk to the doctor. The doctor told her my mother had had her own uterus removed to save her life. Madame Zhong nodded. That makes it easier. I was disappointed I couldn't bury her with my own hands. When my mother woke up, she wanted to take her anger out on me. Don't bother yelling. Someone's been waiting for you. I opened the door. The Zhong family lawyer came in. Ms. Song, I'm here to give you the divorce agreement. She was shocked. Did Ruichuan want this? Or Madame Zhong? Madame Zhong's idea. But he signed it without thinking. Her eyes reddened. Where is he? Tell him to come see me. I said, he's in Su Molan's room. The Zhong family is all there, worried about Su Molan's bald spot. She screamed, no, Mr. and Mrs. Zhong won't let them be together. I smiled. With Su Molan's money and skill, you think she can't handle Mr. Zhong, who only cares about money? Madame Zhong has no power. I saw them argue, but she had no choice. My mother refused to sign. Tell Ruichuan to come see me. He can't just abandon me. I saved him. He promised to love me forever. Madame Zhong came in. She looked at my mother and laughed bitterly. My husband promised to listen to me forever. My son promised to be filial forever. Look at them. 5 million is a good deal. Spend it wisely. It's enough for your retirement, just sign, my mother cried. In the dramas, the male lead always returns. I'll wait for him. Madame Zong was disgusted. Then we'll see you in court. After she left, I tried to reason with her. In the dramas, he always comes back after the divorce. He won't chase you if you never leave. She tried to hit me. I stepped back. You're dodging. Why shouldn't I? Someone hits me. I get out of the way, weak and in pain. She couldn't do anything, she ordered me. You're clever. Figure out a way to win him back. I can't. How dare you? Without me, could you have gone to aristocratic school, learned all those rich people classes, you ungrateful bitch? If you can't think of something, go to his house and beg, or threaten to kill yourself. Do whatever it takes. I pushed her hand back onto the bed. You have it backwards. If I hadn't made a scene, Madame Zong would have made you disappear. In a few days, he wouldn't remember your name. You've seen how cold he can be. He won't change. Stop watching those dramas. You're not the main character. But if you refuse to sign, they'll have to pay for your care. Her eyes widened. You won't take care of me. You want me to hire a nurse. I'm busy. As I left, she screamed. This is all your fault. You should have stopped me. I had, in my last life. This time, I wouldn't waste a moment. I moved into the apartment. Ji-hyun came out of the other bedroom. Are you the landlord? He smiled. I told my dad I wanted to buy this place. He didn't get it. He wouldn't help, so I used last year's New Year's money. I bought new beds and a sofa, and a new water heater. Tell me if you need anything else. I was speechless. I'm only staying here 2 months. Housing prices are dropping. You might not be able to sell it. I can rent it. I'll sell when prices go up. I won't lose money. I stared into his eyes. Do you like me? Is this all to be with me? His face turned bright red. I do, but I don't expect anything. I just feel bad for you. I want to help. I nodded. Thank you, but I won't date for the next 10 years. I need to study, start a company, and make money. Dating would slow me down. In 10 years, if I'm successful and you're still single. He swallowed. You'll be with me. I shook my head. I'll choose the best person from all my suitors and have a fling. Marriage depends on my mood and how he performs. His mouth opened and closed. Seems cruel, I know, but this is my plan. Sorry, I turned to leave. Shall we stay? You can stay. Think of it as a friend helping a friend. I'll work hard too. We'll meet at the top. Good luck. He didn't move in, but still only charged me half rent on score release day. My rich second-generation friends insisted on a video call. They all had family around them. I was alone. They wanted to be there for me, not wanting me to be upset, but they didn't know I had intentionally held back to make them look good. They thought my grades had slipped. Ji-hyun thought I was sad. About my mother, we got our scores. The ones who did well were happy. Their parents bought them cars and bags. The ones who didn't were comforted. Studying abroad was still an option. I looked at my scores. I was calm. As expected, they tried to comfort me. Xiao Hui, don't be sad. You can repeat the year, or study abroad. I smiled. Xiao Hui, how did you do? You're scaring us. I showed them my screen. It was blank. Ji-hyun was confused. Is your name missing? President Ji looked over. He slapped his son's head. She's in the top 20 in the city. She's out of your league. They were all stunned. My phone started ringing. I ended the call. The admissions office from the top 2 universities called, discussing majors and perks. I knew what I wanted. My heart wouldn't settle. I was another step closer to success. I forced myself to sleep. A healthy body was key. The next morning, my mother called, her voice sweet. Xiao Hui, let's have lunch together. I miss you. I was instantly awake. My first thought, she found out I got into a top university. I'd asked my friends to keep it a secret. They wouldn't betray me. What is it? You can tell me on the phone. Nothing. I just miss you. Let's meet at Dunhuang restaurant. I've booked a private room. Curious, I agreed. She was waiting inside. She looked older, grayer, frilier. Her makeup couldn't hide it. Her clothes looked like Madame Zong's old ones. She hugged me. Xiao Hui, I've seen the light. You're the only one who really cares. I'm going to divorce him. We'll take the 1.5 million and go abroad, anywhere you want. This is what I used to want most. Now, it didn't move me. Let's go now. I already ordered. Eat a little first. She made me sit. I excused myself to wash my hands and got a bottle of water and a glass. She kept piling food on my plate. I drank water and looked at my phone. Eat. I ate a few bites. You eat too. She smiled awkwardly. I'm not hungry. You eat. I put down my chopsticks. You've really changed. You used to go for the good stuff first. You always said a woman has to put herself first. Right. This world is unfair to us. If we don't treat ourselves well, Who will? I nodded. I'll do that too. She smiled. Good girl. She stared at me, confused. I pulled up my collar. I'm so hot. Is the AC not working? She relaxed and helped me up. It's off. Let's go upstairs where it's cool. I pushed her away. Mom, did you put something in the food? Her face fell. Why are you so clever? At a time like this, I didn't want to do this, but Ruichuan wants a child. If I can give him one, he'll come back. She tried to hug me. Xiao Hui, you're my only family. I need you. Help me. Even though I suspected, it still hurt. I remembered the love my friends got from their parents. My mother would throw me under the bus for a man. You drugged me so I could give him a child. I'm not even 18 yet. She covered my mouth. Don't yell. No one will know. You'll be 18 when you give birth. Hill. Be gentle, and with the drug, it won't hurt. You'll have a child, and I'll give you money, but don't get attached. He's mine. I wanted to laugh. I would choose the rich boy over this scumbag any day. Impatient, Zhong Ruichuan came in. What's taking so long? She ate. Then give her to me. She pushed me into his arms. You said if she gives you a child, you'll stop seeing Su Molin. He touched my face. Yes, now go. Good mother. I grabbed his hair, slammed his head onto the table, and fed him the drugged food. He didn't expect me to have any energy. By the time he pushed me away, he had eaten quite a bit. What's going on? You weren't drugged. Are you two playing me? My mother panicked. No, I watched her eat. I grabbed my bag and showed him the hidden camera. I recorded everything. I only ate the food you didn't drug. You're going to jail. He lunged for my phone. The drug was kicking in. He fell on the floor, weak and flushed. You tried to drug me first. He yelled at my mother. Stop her. If she calls the police, you'll go to jail. She took out a knife. You ungrateful wretch. Give me the phone. You brought a knife. I was going to force you if I had to. Give it to me. I knew she wouldn't hesitate. I gave her the phone. She ran to him. Ruichuan. I got it. He took it and dropped it in the soup. I walked toward the door. He warned me. Song Hui, if you say anything, I'll make you pay. I left the room. The police siren started. I had already uploaded the video to the police website. Rape of a minor is a serious crime, especially with me being the top scorer. The police and the school would protect me. The media would be on my side. The next day, Su Molin distanced herself from the Zongs. Zong Corporation's stock plummeted. By the time school started, the scandal had faded, but the company was dying. My company started. Using my connections and public sympathy, I quickly established myself. At the first trial, my mother looked even older, disheveled, her face full of spots and wrinkles. She screamed, Xiao Hui, I'm sorry, please don't sue me. I don't want to go to jail. I'm your mother. Can a daughter sue her mother? I thought of my last life in northern Myanmar. I had begged her the same way, bleeding from my head and hoarse from yelling. She didn't call the police. This time, I was kinder. She was only going to jail, not being buried alive for her organs. I pretended to be heartbroken. What mother would drug her daughter and send her to her own husband? I'd rather not have a mother like that. When that didn't work, they both started yelling at me. The more they yelled, the harsher the sentences. She got 3 years. He appealed, blaming her, and got 1 year. A year later, he was out. Zone Corporation was a shadow of itself. My small company was now an industry leader. He was angry, but I had bodyguards. At an event, he tried to confront me. Song Hui, you used me. I'll get you. I had my bodyguards kick him out. G's bodyguards helped. His father took him away. You idiot, you keep causing trouble. Do you want me to send you abroad? He pointed at the young men in the banquet hall. They stared him down. He went quiet. His father sent him abroad. I never saw him again. On my graduation day, my subsidiary went public. After the bell ceremony, I changed into my cap and gown to go take pictures with my professor. Someone stepped in front of my car. I slammed on the brakes. You could have been killed. She came up to my window. Xiao Hui, it's me, your mother. She was gray, old, with 2 scars on her face. I didn't recognize her. You're out. Thanks to you. Look at you now. When Mr. Zong told me, I didn't believe it. My luck has turned. Open the door. Let me sit in your fancy car. I didn't unlock it. How did you end up in jail? You want me to do that again? Get away from me. We're done. I drove off. My assistant called. There's a woman at the company, lying down and refusing to leave. She says she's your mother. She had nothing to threaten me with, but I had a reputation to protect. Find someone for me. I went back. A crowd had gathered. People from the original case remembered. Is this her mother, the one who drugged her? Karma. My mother cried dramatically. I've changed. I want to make it up to you. I said, come with me, sweetie, you forgive me. I led her to the office. She looked around in wonder. So nice, bigger than Zhong Ruichuan's. Xiao Hui, how much are you worth? I leaned on my hand. You want another bully to fall for you? She lowered her head. He's dead. Good. How? Madame Zhong said shortly after he went abroad. He got HIV, lasted 2 years, Su Molin visited him, and now she's infected too. No one knows where she is. A fitting end. She took my hand. Everyone who hurt you is gone. Let's go back to how we were. I smiled. They didn't hurt me. You did. She froze. Her eyes stayed the same, but tears fell. Her skills had improved. You won't take care of me. You have money. You'd let your mother beg on the street. She glared, her scars making her look fierce. I said, what kind of daughter would I be? She smiled. A good one. I called my assistant. Young Master Ji is here. Ji Hyun had taken over his father's company in his 2nd year of college. Show him in. Wait in the other room. There's clothes in the closet. You can shower and rest. I have a client. She nodded. Ji Hyun came in. I made a quieting gesture. You're here about her. He nodded. The person you're looking for is with me. You found him, your biological father, Li Cheng. I started looking before she was released. I wanted to be ready for her. We had the same idea. He bent down to meet my eyes. He was more mature now, sharper, but still had that youthful energy. Did I do good? I felt a flutter, but it was nothing compared to the rush of success. You can have that piece of land I wanted. He looked disappointed. It had to be this way. I rolled my eyes. Your father knows you're a romantic fool. Right, always. He's one too. I didn't know about Mr. and Mrs. G's past, but after his wife died, he never remarried. Ji Hyun asked, does that count for something? I ignored him. My mother came out. Xiao Hui, I found clothes. Oh. This is President Ji's son. You're still friends. They must have helped you succeed. It's almost dinner. Why don't you invite them over? I'll cook. I said coldly. Don't bother. He's busy. She grabbed his arm. What kind of daughter are you? He helped you. I want to thank him. Young Master Ji, let me know when your father is free. I pushed her away and signaled him to leave. We have family matters. Don't worry about them. Ji Hyun left. She was about to scold me. I called my assistant. Order a banquet from Taiha restaurant. Send it to my home. She smiled. I've heard of that place. Only rich people can afford it. Let's have a nice family dinner. After work, I took her home. The food was set up. I gave the maid the night off. She went straight to my walk-in closet, put on my most expensive dress, and picked out some jewelry. She tried to cover her scars with my makeup. Xiao Hui, do I look good? I chewed my food. Yes. She thought for a moment. Mr. G is still alone. If you help me, I'll help you. I smiled. I've found someone better. He'll be here soon. She was excited. Who? How much is he worth? You'll see. But keep the noise down. I have neighbors. She waved her hand. You can't predict when sparks fly. I haven't had a man in years. Will be better than you young people. I nodded and kept eating. The doorbell rang. I answered it. I hadn't seen him in 20 years. He was old, thin, bald, in a security guard's uniform. He'd stopped gambling and drinking. He had terminal liver cancer. He was willing to do anything for money. He looked at me coldly. You're a CEO now. Must be good luck for my family. The JIS warned me. Which one is your? I didn't answer. You don't need to know. I'll pay for your treatment. You'll be comfortable. Just take care of my mother. Your idea. I nodded. He walked in. My mother came out, all dressed up. Xiao Hui, is your guest here? Introduce me. You. I laughed. Surprise. Mom, I found Dad. She screamed. I divorced him. Why did you bring him here? You want me to be miserable. He's your husband. Mr. G won't want you. Li Cheng heard that. She's still after rich men. He grabbed a vase and threw it at her. She dodged, tripping on her heels. He grabbed her hair and slapped her. I had the maid remove the valuables. They could break the rest. I'd already told my neighbors we were renovating and apologized for the noise. I sat on the porch with headphones on. She gave up the next day. We went to remarry them. I bought them a house in the suburbs and arranged for a doctor and food delivery. I told him, if she runs or bothers me, I'll stop your treatment. He locked her in. She yelled and screamed. He ignored her. Eventually, he replaced the lock with shackles, so she could clean the house and yard. That was their life. When he died, I sent her to a mental hospital. I'm not crazy. Let me out. Xiao Hui, you know I'm not. I won't cause any more trouble. Give me some money. I'll go away. I stood on the other side of the iron door. The doctors say your obsession with love is a serious illness. You can't be released. Get better. I'll visit. I turned to leave. How can you be so cruel? I gave you life. I looked back. Then you remember your last life. How? You sold me to northern Myanmar, I won't be kind again, do what the doctors say, or try to escape, you won't like their methods. She looked innocent. What are you talking about? Rebirth, in this life, I didn't sell you, can't you let me live? Who beat me? Who gave me up for her pregnancy? Who drugged me? If I hadn't been careful, you would have let him rape me. Of course not, you're my daughter. I walked away, I focused on my career, I was bold and smart, I was young enough to take risks. Within 4 years, my wealth doubled the G families. I was the youngest female billionaire in Beijing. The elders who used to call me kid now called me fighter. When I wanted a project, they all wanted in. I didn't hoard my wealth, I shared. 10 years later, Ji Hyun was still there. He had spent the decade improving himself. Afraid I'd abandon him, they called me fighter. They called him matchmaker, because he'd find boyfriends for all my admirers. His father joked, just date him. Already, it's too hard on him. He was handsome, mature, elegant, he handed me flowers. Do I have the honor of being your boyfriend? I took them. Why limit myself to just one? I'll find the best. He sighed, you're cruel, I know, but I'll take it. And so it went. 2 years later, my mother was dying. I visited. She looked at Ji Hyun, always watching over me. How do you keep a man this loyal? By not needing him. She was confused. Get smarter in your next life. She died. Her miserable life ended. My brilliant life had just begun. After hearing this story, what are your thoughts? Feel free to share your feelings in the comments. I look forward to hearing your voice.